What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. I hope you guys are having a great day, a great weekend. We had a great slate of college football yesterday. So you know what that means. Today, we're picking all the games for the Week 10 slate of the NFL. There's a bunch of in-division games this week. A lot of games that could get ugly. There's still some good matchups out there, though, and we're going to dive right in, man. The first game on the list today is Browns-Steelers. Now, if you don't know, a lot has happened in the AFC North. Obviously, Joe Burrow on Thursday night is out for the rest of the season with a sprain in his wrist, or I believe he tore a ligament in his wrist. Obviously, Deshaun Watson the week before played the whole second half with a broken shoulder. He's out for the season. Lamar got banged up in the Thursday night game as well with an ankle injury. And then obviously the Steelers have been outgained in yardage every game, and they're somehow 6-3. So this game is just another knockdown, drag-out fight. We've talked about it. The AFC North, if you watch football, every game is tough. Every game is a hard-fought game. They beat each other up throughout the course of the season. This season, even more so. And so this game specifically, the Browns are starting DTR, their rookie. They took him in the 6th round of the draft, I believe. He was a late-round pick. And we saw him earlier in the season. He didn't look his best. He had a really good preseason, though. But anytime you're playing the Steelers defense, it's not a good day to be a rookie, especially when you're playing, even if you're playing in your home stadium. It's just not an easy look for a rookie. So hopefully he does good and it'll be a good game. But I'm going to take the Steelers. Moving on, Bears-Lions, another in-division game. We have a bunch of in-division games this week. I think we have 5. Bears-Lions. I think the Lions stay hot. Justin Fields is coming back. That doesn't move the needle much for me, though. I think the Lions continue to stay hot and keep hold of the first place in that division. Moving on, Chargers-Packers. The Chargers are playing at Lambeau Field. And, if you're playing at Lambeau Field this time of the year, it's going to be cold. It's going to be either raining or snowing. I believe the forecast is rain and below 20 degrees, maybe, if I saw that right. Maybe ridiculous, but I think it was below 20. Going to be cold, going to be wet. I still am going to pick the Chargers, though. They have too much talent to lose to a team that has been struggling on the offensive side of the ball like Green Bay has. Maybe, though, they'll figure something out and give the ball to their best player on the team, Aaron Jones. I don't know why they haven't done that, but they haven't been doing it. I guess a little bit more than they did at the beginning of the season, but still nowhere near the usage rate that a guy like that should be getting. And so I think the Chargers purely win this game off of talent, but I wouldn't take them to blow the doors off. If you know the Chargers, it's become a saying, the Chargers. Saying is for a reason, but I'm still going to take the Chargers. Moving on, Raiders-Dolphins. This is an interesting game. The Dolphins are coming off a bye week after the loss to the Chiefs in Germany. The Raiders have won 2 in a row with their interim head coach. And unfortunately for them, though, I think there's just certain times in this league, and you'll see a little bit later on. I think I mentioned this for the Bucs-Niners preview. Even if you're playing good, even if you're starting to turn your season around, and even if it's not your season, you're trying to build a culture like Las Vegas is trying to do. Unfortunately, you just run into a buzzsaw. The Dolphins are a buzzsaw. Now, I know they haven't beat good teams, but the Raiders aren't a good team, right? They're building. And so, unfortunately for them, I think it's going to be a rough game. They're coming off a bye week, like I said. They're looking to bounce back off an ugly loss to the Chiefs. It was close towards the end, but they never really felt like they were in it. So I think the Dolphins bounce back pretty big. Giants-Commanders, yet another in-division game. This game is going to be ugly. I'm going to take the Commanders. Just keep it short and sweet. Tommy DeVito is starting for the Giants, obviously. And their offense is atrocious. Their defense is atrocious. The Commanders, they're not crazy better. They don't have a lot more talent than the Giants do. But their offense has looked reasonable. Their offense has looked like they know somewhat of what they're doing. Obviously, Eric Bieniemy is a huge part of that. Sam Howell has played really well. You got to give him credit where credit is due. And so I think the Commanders win, and it's really not close. Speaking of another game that's not going to be close, Cowboys-Panthers. Let's keep it short and sweet, man. Cowboys by a trillion. Now, I will say, we mentioned this last week. If the Cowboys lose, it's going to be so loud. Stephen A. Smith is going to be all over First Take, screaming about how the Cowboys have and always will be overrated. All the Cowboys fans are going to be saying that it's still their year. It's going to be a mess. So hopefully, for the sake of us that aren't Cowboys fans, they win and we don't have to talk about it much. Titan Jaguars, another in division game. The Jaguars lost last week, ending their 5 game win streak. They're playing the Titans. Like I said, the Titans have struggled even with Will Levis kind of being a better quarterback than what they thought. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill is benched, and so they're going to ride with Levis what looks like to be the rest of the way. He's shown flashes. Obviously, his first game played really well. Kind of regressed in that Thursday night game, and thus far, the rest of the games that he's played, he still has a lot of potential, though. That's why they drafted him in the second round, I believe, second or late second, early third. I can't quite remember, but he was a later draft pick, and so we'll see. I'm going to take the Jaguars to bounce back after losing their 5 game win streak. And just another win for them to kind of keep some separation between them and the Houston Texans, who are coming on strong as of late. Speaking of the Texans, they play the Cardinals this week, a game that probably a lot of us thought was not going to be a good game early on in the season, but now has miraculously turned around with C.J. Stroud playing himself into MVP form, MVP stature, MVP conversations, whatever you want to call it. The kid has balled out. If you know me, you can look through my Twitter. I was a big proponent of getting the Saints to tank to draft this guy. I saw it when he was at Ohio State. He's a good leader. He's a football guy. Fortunately, the Saints just don't know what they're doing. So, but I'm happy for the Texans, man. DeMeco Ryans has their boys flying around on defense. Kyler Murray is back. He led a game-winning drive in his first game back last week to win the game against the Falcons. And so, even with that being said, man, I think when a guy has that it factor, there's not much you can do. I think C.J. Stroud has proven he has the it factor, very similar to Joe Burrow, just cold-blooded, will get the job done, doesn't show emotion. Even when he makes a mistake, he comes right back and he wins him the game. And so I'm going to take the Texans. It's going to be a close one, but I like the way CJ has played. We all do, and it's a really cool story to watch unfold. A game that we mentioned a little bit earlier, man, Bucks 49ers. The Bucks have been very up and down this season, even with the good play of Baker Mayfield. Been up and down this season. And so, like we mentioned during the, what game was it? Raiders-Dolphins, where just sometimes in this league you run into a buzzsaw. The 49ers are a buzzsaw. We all know it. They're really good at football, man. And even though the Bucks have played a lot better than a lot of us expected, and so has Baker Mayfield, I'm still going to take the 49ers to continue stacking wins. Obviously, they went on a 3-game losing streak, bounced back last week to win. And so I look for them to continue to do that. Jets-Bills, another in-division game. The last 3 games that we're going to be talking about are in-division games. 2 of the 3 are in-division games. Jets-Bills. Part of me wants to pick the Jets because they already beat the Bills earlier on this season. Part of me wants to pick the Bills because they have struggled and they also fired their offensive coordinator this past week. And they're probably tired of people talking about them. They're probably tired of hearing about it. So I'm, against my better judgment, going to take the Bills. This feels like a game they lose. They lose to the Jets a lot these past 2 years. It feels like, at least. The Jets play them really well. Obviously, we know about the defense, but the offense, it's just bad. I think Garrett Wilson is also questionable with an injury as well. So I think with all those things being said, man, I think you have to go with the Bills. It's who knows? This division had such high hopes for all 4 teams being good, at least the top 3. And it's just kind of been, obviously the Aaron Rodgers injury, early on, we've all talked about it. It just hasn't been a fun division to watch this year, contrary to what we thought coming into the season. Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks, I think, win. There's nothing really to talk about. The Rams were a fun story early on. I think they played really good ball early on, obviously, with the good play of Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp coming back and balling out. I think they're just a bit too young. I think when they made the trade for Matthew Stafford, it was a win-now move. They still have some younger guys. Well, actually, they have a lot more younger guys than they do veterans. And so I think it's going to take some time to get those guys, in form. They played well for it being their first year, but obviously you've seen the struggles, and they haven't been the best team. And so I look for the Seahawks and 49ers to come out of Sunday tied at 7-3 for first place in that division, something we did not think was going to happen this year. We thought the Seahawks were going to be good, but vying for first place in that division with the 49ers is pretty impressive. And shout out to Geno Smith, man. If you're a West Virginia guy or girl, whatever, it's pretty cool to watch what he's done these past 2 years. The last game of the night, Sunday Night Football, Vikings Broncos, another game that we probably did not have marked on our calendar to be a good game. But the Broncos have won 2 or 3 in a row. They've looked at least competent on the offensive side of the ball. Russell Wilson, I almost said Westbrook. Russell Wilson has played a lot better this year, even though their record hasn't shown. I believe they're now tied at 5-5, man. And so it's really cool to watch Russell Wilson kind of get back into form. Obviously, the Vikings, Joshua Dobbs, the Pastronaut, has played really well for this team, and it's been really, really cool to watch. I want to take the Vikings. I think the Vikings win another game to move to 7-4. 7-4, I believe, is what their record would be. And I still have the Lions to win that division, but I think with the Vikings playing good ball, it's going to make the Lions just a little bit more nervous and a little bit more hungry for wins down the stretch of this NFL season. So I think that's going to be a fun race to watch. The NFC has been a lot more competitive with the top teams than the AFC has. Unfortunately, the injuries have riddled the AFC side senseless, man. It's been crazy. The injuries this year, especially the quarterback position, is just not fun. Obviously, you can't stop it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just hope the guys come back healthy for next year and are able to play a full season. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments, man. I appreciate all the love and support. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and share this video out. Please leave a like and a comment on some videos you guys would like to see. I have some ideas cooking up. You guys that participated in the polls on social media, I appreciate you so much. Join the Discord. That's in the description below alongside all of my social media. So make sure you guys come hit me up, chat it up about sports. And yeah, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.